In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. All eyes on 72,000. In fact, Willy Woo says there's going to be 1.5 billion worth of shorts liquidated when we hit 72, ushering in a new all-time high to 75,000. We also have Samson Mao, who just tweeted, once we surpass the previous Bitcoin all-time high, recursive demand shock kicks in and will go all the way up to $100,000 per coin. Send it. We'll also be discussing U.S. political change could expose crypto to a $20 trillion industry, according to Bitwise. We'll also be discussing the Bitcoin price prediction of March to all-time highs amid 886 million worth of record inflows into the ETFs. That's right. Bitcoin ETFs took in 888 million yesterday, the highest volume yet. We're also going to be discussing 63 U.S. banks on the brink of insolvency and why Bitcoin's next target is likely to be $100,000. Also, FundStrat's Tom Lee predicts June stock market rally, says institutional adoption to propel the Bitcoin price to 150,000 per coin this year, and that's his base case. We're also going to be discussing the latest from Stock the Flow model creator PlanB. He says Bitcoin price tipped to hit $500,000 in 2025. I'll be breaking down his latest analysis. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. And being we're above 70 G's, check it.
JV told you and me 70 G's, baby.
Let's go.
Bitcoin is no maybe, baby. 70 G's to the moon.
G's, baby. But anyways, fam, if you're new to the YouTube channel, very important to smash those likes and subscribe to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. And please repost this over on X. I greatly appreciate it. Today is pod episode number 1661. I'm your host, JV, and it's June 5th, 2024. Markets are pumping. Yesterday, major pump. Today, we continue to pump. We're still up 1,000. We need to recapture 72 because that can send us to a new all-time high price discovery mode. If you're feeling it, let me know. But let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. The entire market in the green, some in the forest green. Bitcoin up 1.5%, trading at 71,300 at the time of the live stream. Ether up 2%, trading at roughly 3,900. Solana, XRP, Cardano, and AVAX all pumping and in the green. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours. And 1 second, because the current crypto market cap sits at 2.64 trillion, 91 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance 53.3%, with Ether dominance at 17.3%. Now for the top gainers, we have Stacks. Let's go. Up 14%, trading at $2.40. Injective up 8%, trading at 27 bucks. I love when legitimate coins are amongst the top gainers, and it's not just the memes. But below that, lo and behold, we have meme coin Floki up 7%, trading at virtually nothing. It just is what it is, guys. Let me know which alts you guys are most bullish on for this particular bull. Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say, 95% of the market in the green and a pumping. Impressive market gains. And zooming out on the monthly to get a broader perspective, I'd say maybe 70% in the green, 30% in the red, and some impressive gainers, once again, as you can see on your screen. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated 75 greed, yesterday 73, last week 72, and last month 71 in greed. So there you have it. Crypto La Familia. Where's the Bitcoin price likely to take us this fabulous month of June? When all-time high, when price discovery, the current local top is still 73.8, which we achieved roughly 2 months ago, back in mid-March. But anyways, fam, let's break down a little Bitcoin technical analysis. I got nothing but bullishness for you today, so respect the pump. Headline reads, Bitcoin price of 72,000 is the fuse to reach a new all-time high. And I also want to read to you what Willy Woo wrote yesterday. He says, breaking, tapping 72 is the fuse that sets the start of liquidation cascade. 1.5 billion of short positions ready to be liquidated all the way up to 75,000 into a new all-time high. And even Samson Mao says once we surpass the previous Bitcoin all-time high, which is 73.8, recursive demand shock kicks in and we all the way up to 0.1 million per Bitcoin, which is $100,000 per coin. So let's break this baby down. So yeah, I just read you Willy Woo's tweet alongside the chart, which is the liquidation leverage chart. So Bitcoin rose 3% in the past 24 hours, which is not too shabby. Bitcoin is up 5% on the weekly chart, according to CoinMarketCap, as you can see here on the one-day chart. Now, Bitcoin price faces significant resistance at the 71.5 and 72 marks, and we're right at that 71,500 mark pretty much right now. Above the 72.5 mark, Bitcoin would trigger the liquidation of over $1.2 billion worth of leverage short positions. Currently, Bitcoin is down 3.4% from the previous all-time high of 73.8, which was achieved mid-March. Bitcoin's post-halving distribution danger zone, they call me Danger, that's my middle name, family, ended on May 6th when the Bitcoin firmly rose above the reaccumulation range of 60 Gs, baby. That's according to Rec Capital. Bitcoin's price has risen 12.5% since May 6th, confirming the end of the post-halving danger zone. Bitcoin price broke out of the significant two-week downtrend on June 3rd, as Rec Capital shares here alongside the chart. Bitcoin broke its two-week downtrend today. However, we have seen upside wicks beyond the downtrend before, which is why the daily close later today is needed to confirm this breakout. So where do you feel that daily close is going to take us, family? Bitcoin still needs to turn 72,000 resistance into support before it enters the parabolic phase of the bull, according to the analysts. Rec Capital. Now, I agree 100%. I think 72 is that line in the sand right now, and I think we're on the cusp of breaking it. Let me know your thoughts, and where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to land after we break 72 Gs, baby? Holla. Anyways, fam, next story of the day, let's discuss a $20 trillion crypto market cap. Why not? Check this out. The crypto space could be exposed to the trillions in the financial advisory industry once the U.S. regulators clear up legal uncertainties. Mr. No Claire Gare, says crypto asset manager Bitwise. That's right. Regulatory uncertainty has been the main reason why financial advisors haven't increased exposure to crypto over the last 5 years, according to the Bitwise chief investment officer, Matt Hoogan, who wrote in a June 4th post. He thinks that the U.S. is finally moving towards regulatory clarity, which could open it up to the country's $20 trillion financial advisory industry. Quoting him here. Imagine then how much of that $20 trillion will go into crypto when the biggest barrier gets lifted. Now for my conspiracy theorists out there, fellow conspiracy theorists, why do you think the regulators haven't given us any clarity thus far? Do you think this is all by design? Do you think that Mr. Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, is complicit with purposely providing no clarity to stifle innovation and growth within the crypto sector? Holla, let me know in the chat. So he also says, if you think BlackRock's move into the crypto space positively impacted the market, imagine if all the Wall Street accepted crypto as a normal part of the market. And he makes a good point. Hogan said that a shift started last month when the Dems crossed the aisle to repeal Staff Accounting Bulletin 121. And again, when the House passed Financial Innovation and Tech for the 21st Century Act, which was FIT 21, which may be in the crypto industry, making it marked up as a win. The SEC also approved spot Ether ETFs on May 23rd, after months of analysts speculating that it would knock them back. Hoogan noted Sleepy Joe's veto of the SAB 121 repeal, which claimed to show crypto still has a long way to go. But even this is a minor setback. We have been sailing upwind for a decade in crypto. He also believes there's a lot of alpha to capture in the crypto market, which he said is largely untouched by those outside the crypto bubble. He continues to see people's eyes glaze over when he speaks about crypto-related political developments at conferences, quoting him again, if people understood the ramifications on the shift in Washington, D.C., the crypto market would be at a new all-time high. And with SAB's 121 repeal vetoed, FIT 21 unlikely to make it through the Senate before November elections, and then be approved, spot Ether ETF still to launch. Hoogan conceded that no policies have actually changed yet in Washington. The tide has changed, but the water hasn't come in yet. Wake me up when the action happens. There you go. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Crypto to tap into 20 trillion once we get some clarity from the regulators. I think once we'll get clarity is when Gensler is replaced with a less sinister chairman. And I'm sticking to that. Let me know your insights on that. Check this out. Bitcoin marches to all-time highs amid 886 million record inflows. As pointed out here, the second biggest day of inflows since launching the ETFs. Wave 1 of ETF inflows took Bitcoin from 37,000 to 73. Wave 2 of the inflows is just getting started with $100,000 on the motherfucking way. So let's discuss this show. The highest inflows into the funds were seen March 13th when they took in a record 1.04 billion. Bitcoin went on to hit a record high of 73,800 on March 14th, which was the following day. Let's go. The Farside investor data also shows the largest inflows went into the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin Fund at 378 million worth, while BlackRock's iShare Bitcoin Trust IBIT was second with 274 mil. The data also reveals that ARK21 shares ETF was the third best performer with 138 million in net inflows. Also, we have GBTC, which had minimal inflows of 28 million, the seventh time it has seen an inflow since the spot Bitcoin ETFs were launched January 11th. I mean, so there you go. I think inflows are likely to continue. This is a major boom. So let that sink in. If we didn't have these ETF inflows earlier this year, we wouldn't be sitting pretty at roughly, 72,000 right now. Maybe we'd still be in the $40,000 or $30,000 range. So are you guys ready for wave 2 is my question for you. And do you think wave 2 of the institutional inflows will send Bitcoin to $100,000 above and beyond? Holla at your boy. Anyways, next story of the day. Let's discuss these 63 banks on the cusp of going insolvent. You heard me right. 63 U.S. banks on the brink of insolvency. And let's also discuss why Bitcoin's likely to hit that six-figure milestone we always discuss. Bitcoin could be on track to the psychological 100K mark as the digital gold narrative gains more prominence and as other banking crises loom in the United States. At least 63 U.S. banks on the brink of insolvency in the first quarter of this year, up from 52 banks on the problem bank list during the third quarter of last year. This is according to the FDIC quarterly report. So this is coming directly from them. Moreover, the banks are collectively sitting on $517 billion worth of unrealized losses. That's a half a trillion, up $39 billion for the previous quarter, which marks the 9th consecutive month of unusually high unrealized losses. And here's from the report that the FDIC shared. Higher unrealized losses on residential mortgage-backed securities resulting from higher mortgage rates in the first quarter drove the overall increase. This is the 9th straight quarter of unusually high unrealized losses since the Federal Reserve began to raise interest rates in the first quarter of 2022. So warning, remove your fiat out of the bank, or only keep in the bank what you could be willing or affording to lose. The health of the U.S. banking system has been a growing concern since March of 2023 after the sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and the voluntary liquidation of Silvergate. Signature Bank was also forced to close operations, which you guys remember. That was back on March 12, 2 days after Silvergate's bank liquidation. In response to the collapse, the Federal Reserve created the Bank Term Funding Program, offering banking loans up to a year in return for them posting qualifying assets as collateral. This emergency measure was what started the Bitcoin bull run in early 2023. According to BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes Just Blaze, Hayes argued that this led investors to seek fixed supply assets such as the biddies during a September 5th keynote speech at Korea's Blockchain Week. Quoting Arthur Hayes Just Blaze right here, me and the rest of the market rightly saw through this as basically them admitting that they caused this problem, the structure of the banking system. And this is one of the ways you can fix it, which is print more money. Bitcoin then climbed 26%. How many of you remember this? From 21,900 to 28,000 during the week of March 13th. 2023. What's more, the price of Bitcoin rose over 148% since the beginning of the banking crisis, which began again March 2023, to trade at around now close to 72,000. Now, the FDIC report further validated the price action model of Jamie Coutts, chief crypto analyst at Real Vision, who expected Bitcoin to find solid support above the 63,000 mark before further upwards momentum. Quoting him here, after some nice coiling price action since March, my boring Bitcoin trend model triggers, DXY down, yields and corp spreads are lower. Can you smell that, son? That's the smell of central bank liquidity in the R. That's right. And on the daily chart, the Bitcoin price continually printed higher lows since the beginning of May. If the chart pattern continues, Bitcoin price can break out to new all-time highs in the next few weeks and even smash that coveted 100,000 mark, quoting the analyst trader Targrade here. I'm not surprised Bitcoin has broken out of the recent bull pennant after the breakout of a bull flag. Both bull pennant and bull flag are promising chart patterns. The next surge could reach over 100,000 per Bitcoin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the bullish price action from the analysts. And do you trust the banks at this point? Right? Hell no. You got to be crazy. Those who save in fiat as a store of value. What do we call them, poor folks? Those poor folks.
Fiat currency. We call them poor. We call them poor.
Word up. Anyways, we still got a couple more stories to share. They're both bullish, so pump the likes, pump the stream, much appreciated. Let's now discuss FundStrat's Thomas Lee predicts June stock market rally. It says institutional adoption to propel the biddies to 150,000 per coin. That's right. The managing partner of the head of research of FundStrat says stocks will be on the rise this month and that the institutional investors will push Bitcoin to new heights. This was on a new CNBC interview. Tom Lee says he is targeting the 5,500 level for the S&P by the end of the month, about 4% move from the current prices. Quoting him here, inflation is a-coming and softer than expected, and I think the job market is cooling, but not weakening dramatically. And I think that's a good situation for equities. The sell-off in April actually hasn't really been fully recovered, and that's why we expected a rebound in May. But I think that carries over into June. There's still $6 trillion of cash on the sidelines, and margin debt is still way below where it was in October of 2021. And so we know investors really aren't that long yet. So I think that comes together this month with a pretty surprisingly robust move higher. Then later in the interview, Lee was asked if he was willing to double down on his forecast that Bitcoin would hit 150,000 per coin before the end of the year. Now listen up. Here's what he responded. Yes, we are still constructive on Bitcoin. There's the tailwinds that are associated with having that recent event just take place. We also know because of the Bitcoin ETF, there have been tremendous inflows, but institutional adoption and infrastructure being built around Bitcoin is only the beginning. And that makes crypto and especially Bitcoin a bona fide asset class. Amen. And he continues. That's right. Wait, there's more. And I think that's sort of a widening ownership is going to be propelling Bitcoin to 150,000. And again, surprise, maybe surprising or not surprising, Bitcoin still follows math. More than 87% of the movement in Bitcoin still follows just the number of wallets and the activity per wallet, and both are moving higher. So there you go. Let me know if you agree or disagree with his $150,000 base case for this year of 2024. And to watch the interview he did on CNBC, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now for our feature story of the day. Let's discuss stock to flow model shows the Bitcoin price hitting $500,000 per coin as per PlanB. So here is the latest. The headline reads, Bitcoin price tipped to hit 500,000 in 2025 by stock to flow creator PlanB. And shout out to PlanB, by the way. He also recently just tweeted, my forward guidance for 2024 and 2025 has not changed since October of 2022 when Bitcoin was below 20 G's. He wrote, rise into the April 2024 halving, check. Halving around stock to flow model value 55,000, check. Pump after the halving, check. Question mark, 2024, Bitcoin crosses 100,000. May be happening soon. And he also put question mark, 2025, reach stock to flow target is a range between 0.25 million, which is 250,000, to $1 million. And here's the initial tweet from October 6, 2022. My forward guidance for the next 3 years, 2024 halving is a coming, and the increased scarcity stock to flow ratio will pump the Bitcoin price just like 2012, just like 2016, and just like 2020. And just recently, stock to flow shows us a new red dot, which means bull season is here. That's right. So let's break this down a little further. I just shared with you the tweets. I want to know your particular insights on his thoughts of Bitcoin hitting 500,000 by next year in 2025. Do you think that'll happen? And can you see 100,000 occurring in 2024 as he outlines in the tweet? Let me know. He also listed a couple of events, including the Bitcoin halving, as we mentioned, and the 2025 price jump of Bitcoin, reflecting his positivity of Bitcoin in the future. Of the 5 items that he featured on the list, PlanB tick the rise into April 2024 halving, the halving around the stock to flow model, value of 55,000, as well as the pump after the halving, suggesting that they have been completed. The next milestone to hit, according to PlanB's insight, is getting Bitcoin to that six-figure milestone of 100,000 per coin this year. This feat may not prove difficult for Bitcoin, considering that it currently faces almost zero resistance in its quest to reach a new all-time high. Now, Into the Block data suggests that the coin has found support between 68.7 and 70,800. Riding on this, the Bitcoin price is headed to 80,000 by the end of this month of June and to $100,000 by the end of the year. Send it. This speculation supports an earlier position taken by Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Digital CEO, in the matter of the Bitcoin price. Novogratz also explained that if the price of the asset soars to 73,000 next week, it can rally to 100,000 towards the end of the year. And while the journey to achieving six figures may be closer than expected, PlanB's 500,000 prediction seems like a lofty height for Bitcoin to achieve in a matter of a few months. It happens to be one of the highest Bitcoin price predictions in the last few weeks. Well, just to clarify, he doesn't say it's happening anytime soon. He just says in 2025. So for example, cycle peak, which typically occurs within 18 months from the time of the halving. We just recently had the halving, right? April 19th. So he's saying by this time next year, or potentially before the end of the fourth quarter of 2025, Bitcoin can realistically hit 500,000 per coin, which is actually right in alignment with my personal prediction. It's right in the middle, because my personal prediction for this cycle peak, which is also in 2025, I say for the low, which is a bear scenario, 222,000. My bull scenario, 750,000, right in the middle. 500,000 as Plan B is projecting. So let me know your thoughts on his particular projection. You already know the markets are extremely bullish right now. Not only do we have nation state adoption like El Salvador, we actually have states within the United States of America adopting Bitcoin, right? As we've been sharing throughout this week. I forget exactly what state it is, but there's actually states adopting Bitcoin, like maybe Wisconsin, and putting it on the balance sheet, right, as a reserve asset. I think that's very clever. I think many more states are likely to follow. We call this game theory. I think we're going to see more ETFs being approved. And yeah, Bitcoin's going to do its thing. And Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. But anyways, welcome to the Q&A segment of the live show. I'm going to read as many of your comments out loud. Let me know your predictions. And when do you feel Bitcoin will tap six figures, 500,000, 1 million? And I'll read these out loud. So let's go. I got a $185 refund check from my insurance carrier yesterday. Every cent of it went into self-custody Bitcoin. Music to my ears, Hillbilly Will. Plan B is not saying 1 million like so many of the others. Right on, Serge. 150,000 at most, says Chris Klein. Is that for this year or for the cycle peak? 225,000, says JC Ice, end of the year. 500 to 750,000 as the cycle peak. Right in alignment with my personal prediction. I dig it. Novogratz has the tattoo of the Luna symbol. Never forget. I don't think we'll ever forget. That's for sure. I think of Novogratz, I just think fool with a Luna shitcoin tattoo. First thing that comes to mind. Don't matter how much good he has done in the world. If he has done any good, I have no clue. But nonetheless, Luna, tattoo, foolish. Something he'll regret for the rest of his life. The state of Wisconsin, thanks for the clarity there. Wisconsin, my island. That's what's up, Greg. Wisconsin, let's go. It's where I live, and when I heard, I literally cried. Wow, a lot of you guys are from Wisconsin. Respect, Chris. Hi, and all welcome to the freedom of the 70s, says a veteran hippie. This time in Bitcoin. Bitcoin 10 million in 5 years. Why so bearish, Triple T? Cycle peak, baby. The Wisconsin State Pension Fund has recently purchased 130 million worth of the biddies. Let's go. That gets me pretty lit. 150,000 December prediction, 150 this year. 500 peak. I'm peaking. That sounds pretty lit, especially considering right now we're at 70 G's, baby. Let's go.
JV told you and me 70 G's, baby, baby.
70 G's.
No, maybe, baby.
No, maybe. 70 G's, my baby. I accidentally bought a squid. I remember as a kid in school, one of the traumatizing things, we dissected a squid. We also dissected a baby pig. And it was the most disgusting school day of my life. Still brings back horrific memories. I don't think we should be dissecting animals in school, family. I'm just saying. But I digress. Maybe why I'm a vegetarian today. Maybe. Maybe.
70 G's to the moon.
To the moon. And shout out to Chandy again for producing the new Jammy Jam. She made like 10 variations of 70 Gs. So throughout the week, we'll be sampling different versions for you guys as we're in the 70,000 range. Excuse me. Burping here. And there's also a new track we're going to be premiering called War Warning. And it's pretty lit. I listened to it earlier. We're going to be playing it later on Rumble, on the uncensored version of the pod after the YouTube stream ends. I got it lined up and looking forward to that one. It's pretty good. The pig stunk. Yes, of course the pig stunk. But it was just gross handling a dead animal. You know what I mean? Should I use the ledger for anything besides a paperweight? I don't think it makes a good paperweight. Not a good paperweight. This bottle is a better paperweight. It's got some volume to it. Just saying. So happy the stream is back. I missed you all. Missed you too, Hillbilly Will. You can thank YouTube for that. We did get terminated this year. It's like an annual thing that occurs every year on the channel. Every year we get terminated under false pretenses. The channel gets shut down for a couple of weeks. Then they apologize after the appeal process. And then they say, oh, you didn't violate any terms and conditions. Our bad. Ha 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 ha, sucker. That's how I feel, at least. You got to keep it moving. Play the theme song, JV. I think I got the theme song here. Let's see. It should be on here somewhere. Which one is it, though? I think I call it 70s. Let's see. Yeah, here we go.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Let me know what you guys think of the new theme song. Pretty lit. Thanks for the reminder, JC. I love it. Oompa Loompas? Yeah. We could play the Oompas. Plan B's model has never been able to predict a future price. Maybe this time, says CB. I love this, says Chris Klein. We appreciate the feedback. A shout out Chandy for putting that together for us. She's already produced like 20 tracks in like 2 weeks. It's mind-boggling to me. And they're all good. We're going to play the new Trump song she just produced, Bitcoin Trump song. It's called War Warning. War Warning. It's pretty good. JV needs to talk about the truth, and those who tell the truth need a fast horse. There you go. I have a Cold Card MK4, which has a HW wallet. Do you have, says Morrow. Shout out to Cold Cards. I think that's CoinKite, the company. They produce epic hardware wallets that have air gap technology. So I'm a fan. I'll have that stuck in my head for the rest of the night. Good. Bring it back.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near.
Never gets old. Plan B needs an octopus. Internet Bucks is a song that belongs on your soundboard. Word. I'll have to check that one out. Internet Bucks. I assume it's a Bitcoin song, eh? Internet bucks, internet money. Oh no, JV, saging it up. You know we got to sage it. Before we get into the uncensored talk and we start discussing all the evil in the world, we got to set the stage with the sage. You know what I mean? Very important. Play it. Play it. Want that the whole version?
I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life. But Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
TA is an educated guess based on trend lines, moving average, oscillators, indicators, market sentiment, the general social political events. There is no sure thing other than Bitcoin going to the moon. Facts. Well said, Greg. The stock exchange needs to move to Texas to get out of the crooked New York. Amen. Crooked New York for crooked Hillary. Rest in peace, Hal Finney. Rest in peace, Hal. We love you, brother.